Hi, I'm gonna go ahead and hello, sis. Hi. Hey, Diana Sapon. Hi. Good to have you guys. So if you just joined me, Merry Christmas in advance. I don't know if I'll get to say Merry Christmas to you again. So I'm going to go ahead to take you through this tutorial on how to create this Christmas card. I know that sometimes we see this online and we are not sure if we can recreate it. So I'm here to walk you through. If you just joined, you're welcome. Please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to like. And if you're new, subscribe so that you get notified anytime I go live. So with that said, we are going to go ahead and begin this tutorial. Okay, and if you have any questions as I am going through, feel free to just ask me any question and I will do my very best to answer the questions as we go along. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead to begin. All right. So when you start creating a flyer like this, the first thing you want to do is to go to File, click on New, and then you want to go ahead and choose the dimension that you want to use. So we are going to go ahead and choose a 7x10. So you double click on it and that is the size. And notice that I'm using the resolution is 300, okay? So the first thing we are going to do is bring in the background that we want to use. And I'm going to make all of these available for you to use in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop this image in. And I'm going to hold down Shift so that I get it in a perpendicular. I'm going to go ahead and set it in the corner and scale it like that. And I'm going to double click to accept. Now, once you have this in, you notice that I'm using almost like a concrete texture. Now, we want to go ahead and add in a solid color. So go under your adjustments. Go under your adjustments, and then you want to go ahead and choose a solid color at the top. Okay, thank you, Constance, for joining. So we will go ahead and zoom in, okay? And I'm going to go ahead to change the color. We want to set it to a black and white, or you can even add a little tint. We can do a blue, okay? And I think I'm going to go ahead and set it to like a deeper blue, like that. And I'm going to go ahead to click OK. Hello, Sam from India. Now we want to go ahead and reduce the opacity of this so that we get the texture from the concrete, but it's not too much. So with this set, you want to go ahead and I'm going to go back and even take it a step further so that the blue is not too much. Okay. So with this set, we want to go ahead. I want to make sure I have everything right. Okay, so the next elements that we want to go ahead and bring in is we want to type in our font. Now, the font that we are going to use, I'm going to go ahead to click on my font. Now, I'm going to go ahead and choose Amarillo font. Now, this font you can get online, the fonts for free. So click on your font, and then we are going to go ahead and type in Mary. And I'm going to go ahead and set that right here. Now, I don't like the way the R's look, so I'm going to highlight. I want to keep it simple, and I'm going to change that, and I'm going to use the Monster Clubhouse font. So if I click on that, now I can go ahead and change the font style in the middle so that that is a little bit bigger. So I can go to my font size right here and I can increase it so it matches with the size of the other font. So notice I did that in my property. So I'm going to come out of this. Now this looks much better. I'm going to go ahead and scale it down, double click to accept. Now I want to go ahead and type in the Christmas. So I'm going to make a selection of my fonts. So I'm going to click on my layer, hold down Command J, and I'm going to make a copy, double click, and I'm going to go ahead and type in Christmas. So once I have my Christmas typed in, I want to go ahead and move this and set that below my Mary. So I have something like this. And notice that I'm trying to line things up. So try and line your items up as you do it, okay? So with this set, we want to go ahead and add a gold texture to our fonts. So to do that, hello, everyone. If you just joined, you're welcome. This is the flyer, this is the design that we intend to do today. I'm very excited, and I know that by the time you leave this place, you will know how to create this. And guys, please go ahead and also send me your version of this flyer if you can on Instagram, okay? So let's get back to the design. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on my layer style. I'm going to click on my layer to bring up the layer style. Okay, so we want to go ahead and add a stroke, a gold effect. So I'm going to click on my bevel, and I'm going to click inside my bevel, and I'm notice that I'm using an inner bevel, and my technique is not on chisel, but it is on smooth. And I do have my direction on up. My depth is around 251, and I have it very soft. And even my size, you notice it's at 207. Now, when you come down to the shading, I have my angle at 90 and my altitude at 30. I'm using a gloss contour. Now you can choose whichever gloss contour you want. I had it on this. Now I switched it back to this. Okay, now I am using a linear dodge, and my opacity is around a 25, and I have my shadow mode on multiply. Okay, now I want to go ahead and also add, I'm going to go ahead and add a gradient effect. Okay, and then besides that, so I'm going to click and then also add an inner shadow. I'm going to go ahead and add a color overlook. Okay, so that's what we are going to do next. So I'm going to click on that so you can see the colors that I'm using. Now notice that with the color overlook, all you need to do is click on your color. Now go ahead and choose whichever color you want. You can play with these settings to get the gold effect that you want. Now you can go ahead and click OK. Now the next thing we want to do is to add a drop shadow to give it some depth. Now if you click on your drop shadow, you notice that I have my blend mode on multiply and my angle is at 90. Now you can change the angle to whatever you want. You can increase your distance so you get a bit more depth, and as well as your size, you can increase it. So with this set, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and click OK. So now that we have this, hello, hi, live from Pakistan. It's good to meet you all. Ahmed and Bakar. I hope I mentioned your name right. Please forgive me. So if you just joined, you're welcome. Guys, this is the tutorial that we intend to do. I think you are going to love this, okay? Now we are going to go back to the main page. So with this set, so if you just joined us, please give this video a thumbs up, like it, and share this video, and tell your friends to join, okay? So once we have our design, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Now it looks very nice. It's a goldish color. Now we want to apply the same effect on our Mary. So I'm going to click on my layer. Notice that we have all of these layer styles. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go all the way down, and then I'm going to look for copy layer style. So once I have it copied, I'm going to click on my Mary layer, right click, and I'm going to paste that. So I don't have to repeat the steps all over. And with one click, it applies the effect on the Mary. Ma'am, kindly share about that picture which you used in your tutorial on how you can make more PNG pictures. Okay. Oh, yes, yes, I will do that. So when I'm done, I will save all the pictures that I use or the ones I've cut out on a PNG and add that to the folder so that you don't have to go and cut out everything yourself. I agree with you, Ahmed. So I will do that. You're welcome. All right. So with this set, we want to go ahead. I want to change the Mary because as you notice in this image, the Mary is white and it adds some contrast. So we will go ahead and do that for this one. So I'm going to double click on my Mary and I'm going to basically turn off the color overlay. Now you can also go back to your color, click on it and just choose a white. So we still sort of have the color that we want, you know, showing up. So, or you can basically turn it off because once you turn it off, my base color that I started with is white. So it's going to definitely show up. So I'm going to go ahead to click OK. So with this set, we want to go ahead and bring in some other elements that we want to add. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in this box and I'm going to make it big and I'm going to double click to accept. Now we want to cut out the background of this. So I'm going to go under my property and I'm looking for the quick action. I don't see it because I first have to convert my image into a layer. So click on that and click yes to accept it. Now, if you just joined, you're welcome, Kim. So please give this video a like. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below and I will answer as we go along. So I'm going to go back to my property, remove background, and Photoshop basically takes it off for you. So with that taken off, we are going to scale this and set it somewhere here for now. I'm going to double click on it. Now with this set, we want to go ahead and first of all, zoom in. You notice that a bit of this is chopped off, but we are going to zoom in and pick my poly lasso tool. And I'm just going to trace around this area like that. Close it off, click on your layer mask thumbnail, make sure your foreground is white. Now we know white reveals black height when using layer masks. Now pick up your brush tool and paint this area in, Command D to deselect. Now repeat this process because we still have some white area we need to get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my foreground to black with my brush. I'm going to basically Command D. Now I need to go and zoom in and chop it in 2 pieces because I want to keep my ribbon. And I'm going to use my eraser. Make sure your flow is at 100. And then you can go ahead and erase this portion. I'm going to pick up my lasso tool, poly lasso tool again. And I'm going to just cut this area with my brush. I'm going to go ahead to take that off as well. Great tutorial. Do keep it up. Thank you, Matthew from London. Nice to meet you, Matthew. If you just joined, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. So with this said, we want to go ahead and bring in another element that we want to add. So I'm going to throw this in. I'm going to double click and we want to take off the background. So do the same thing. Click on convert layer first in your property. Now click on remove background under your quick action. And we are going to go ahead and reduce this as well. And if you want, you can use this Or I have another ribbon that I want to bring in. I'm going to throw this in, double click. Now I just want the little piece on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead to just quickly cut out this area of the image because I just want to use the image below and nothing else. And I'm going to go ahead, right click, and then make a copy via. Now we can go ahead and delete the other one. We don't need it. And now I'm going to click on this ribbon and turn that off. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this in, make it very big. We want to take off the background. So go ahead and go under your remove background under your quick action and click on that. Now, when you do that, in this case, it doesn't take off a lot of the background. So you can go ahead and use your lasso tool, just like we did in the other tutorial, to take it off. But because of time, I'm going to go back to this one and I'm going to look for that layer. And I'm just going to drag and drop this one in here so we can use it, and I'm going to delete that, okay? So we don't have to do everything from scratch. Now I'm going to move this to the layer below like that, and I'm going to go ahead and move it up a little and pull it down like that. So it's a little bit smaller than the one in front. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can see the full thing. Okay, so with this set, we want to go ahead and move our Mary up a little and bring our Christmas up a little like that. All right, so once you have everything, I think I'm going to select all of it and then make it a little bit bigger and set that in the middle like that. I want to know kindly your Instagram link. So my Instagram name is the same as my Photoshop name. So it's Quistt Photoshop. Okay, that's my Instagram name. So you can look me up and send me your tutorial. Okay, you can look me up and send me your finished design of this tutorial. Okay, so with this set, we want to go ahead and I want to add a little bit of a dark effect below the boxes. So it gives it some depth. So you want to click on your layer below your boxes, add a new layer, flip your foreground to black, pick up your brush tool. You want to go ahead and maybe reduce your flow a little, increase your brush size. Now you can dab underneath a little to give it a bit of a shadow effect. Now, if this is too much, you can go ahead and reduce your brush, or even you can reduce your opacity so that it's not too much. So with this all set, we want to go ahead and move our Mary. We are going to move this layer and set that above our boxes. So it's above and you see the shadow effect on the text. All right, so with this set, we are going to go ahead and bring in some other elements. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in another cool element that we are going to introduce, okay? Okay, so we are back. So we are going to go ahead and bring in another element that we are going to apply to our image. All right, now I'm going to go back here to the other tutorial that I have, and I'm going to drag and drop this element in, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and set that right there. Ooh, I like it. I really do. Actually, it looks a little bit different from what I originally had, but I like this. So I'm going to go ahead and move this layer. I'm going to go ahead and move the Merry Christmas above so we have something more like that. Okay, so we are back. Good. Now I'm going to make sure I make this element available as well so that you can download and use it in your tutorial. So let's keep going. Now, the next thing that we want to do, you can keep this element in the goldish color. So we are going to maintain this for now, but I might end up changing it back to the white because it sort of looks cool with the white as well. So let's see how it turns out. From where do you download the hanging thing? So where I downloaded, let me see if I can show you how I did this one. And I'm going to, can you see my screen? I'm not sure if you can see this. So I'm going to go ahead and reshare so that it shows up. Okay, so can you now see my screen with the, okay. So you can see it now. Perfect. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, I'm just going to go to Google. So once you are in Google, all you need to do is type in gold hanging, gold ornaments. Okay. Gold hanging ornaments, and then you type in PNG. Okay, when you do that, you notice that other elements show up. Now you can click on any of them and it should show you how the thing looks. Now this is the one that I used. Okay, so when you save this file, when you right click, all you have to do is go ahead and save the file. And when you save the file, you notice that it comes, when you open it up, most of the time it should come without a background, okay? And you can go ahead and use it. So I hope that this answers your question. I'm gonna go ahead to close everything now. We are back at this again. Okay, so I hope you are with me so far. If you have any other questions, please stop me and let me know. I'll be glad to answer your questions. All right, so with all of this said, I'm gonna go ahead to reduce my font a little. I'm gonna go ahead to reduce my font a little, set that right there. Okay, so now that we have this, we wanna go ahead and we are going to drag and drop in this element. Now you have to be careful so that you don't have too many elements showing up. Now I'm going to go ahead and scale this, and I'm going to at the same time rotate and set that somewhere here like that. And I'm just trying to not overdo it. So I have something like this. I'm going to double click. Now I want to reduce the opacity, but before I do that, I want to get rid of the other elements at the top. So you want to go ahead and add a layer mask. So click on the layer, add a layer mask at the bottom. Now pick up your brush tool with your foreground as black. We want to go ahead, increase our flow all the way to 100 and basically paint over to hide these other elements. Now we want to go ahead and reduce our opacity on this element so that it sort of blends in and it's not too much. So we sort of have something more like this effect. Okay, so and if you want to make it a little bit bigger, you can go ahead and do that like that. All right, I'm going to go ahead to zoom in. So we have something like this. Now I'm going to go back and pick up my brush tool and paint anything else that is showing up. All right, so with this set, we want to go ahead and move this up a little so we have it looking more like that. And I'm going to move this up a little so it's right on top of my image. Okay, so with this set, it says, sorry for disturbing, ma'am. When you're downloading the designs, now you are doing. What did I download? It's the same thing. So you go back to the same Google and then you type in, you go ahead and I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, so you go ahead and then you type in the same thing. Okay, so You're on Google, type in Christmas gold, no, it's gold snowflakes, okay? Gold snowflakes, PNG. You just type that in and you see all of these elements, you see? So you click on it and then you basically choose whichever one you want to use, and you can, save it. And when you save it, if it has a white background, you just have to change the blend mode to screen so that it gets rid of the white in the background. So I'm going to go ahead to save this just to demonstrate. And I'm going to close this. All right, so we are back on our design. So I'm going to show you something in a minute. So let's say I drag and drop this in, but it comes with a white background. All you need to do is change the blend mode of that to multiply. Now, when you change it, you need to change it to multiply. When you change it to multiply, it will show up, but the only way you will see the gold is if you have a white background added instead of the black. Okay, so notice that you can see it on the white, but when it's on a black background, you can't see it. So I hope that was helpful, but most of the time you should be able to find a PNG that has, you should be able to find an image that is a PNG with no background on it. All right, so with this said, we want to go ahead and change this ornament color to white. So I'm going to click on that layer and I'm going to go ahead and go to my adjustment and add a hue and saturation. Now I want to click the hue and saturation only to the layer below. So look up in your property bar, you notice there's a little icon that says, it's a box with a down arrow, that is to clip it. So now when I make any changes to my hue, it will only affect the hanging ornament. Now, if I move my slider all the way to 100%, notice that it basically takes off the color. And now you can basically only see the same ornament, but that is now in white. Okay, so I hope that this is very helpful. You're welcome, Sam. So with this said, we want to go on and keep adding more elements. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the word party. So I'm going to pick up my font, flip my foreground to white, and I'm going to use the Alma Phi code, and I'm going to type in party. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and shrink this, and I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to move that layer above so that it's on top and not beneath. Okay, and I'm going to set that right there and decrease it a little. So I have Merry Christmas theme. Now I want to go ahead and bring in a gold particle. So I'm going to click on the bottom layer, and then I'm going to go ahead to drag and drop in this gold particle, and I'm going to go ahead and set that below and increase it like this. So we have this cool effect happening in the background like that. I hope you are enjoying this because I am loving it. Okay, so if it's too much, you can go ahead and either increase it so you don't see a whole lot of it, but it's still there. I'm going to go ahead to zoom in a little. Now, if this design is too dark for you, you can change the background color. You can double click on the color fill and we can begin to just play with the color so that we get something in the bluish. Now, I'm going to go ahead to click OK, and that is it. Now, I want to add a bit of a shadow to the boxes. I tried using just the paint, but it didn't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, add a new layer, pick up my brush tool with my foreground as black. I'm going to reduce and begin to paint this area, and notice that it's beginning to add some depth to the box. So we have something like that. I'm going to zoom out And this is looking really good. I'm going to check in the comments to see if anybody has any questions. Okay, so we have no questions. We are going to go ahead and move on. Okay, so if you just joined, this is the tutorial that we are trying to create. Please give this video a thumbs up if you just joined, and let's keep going. All right, so with this set, we want to go ahead and throw in some ribbons, okay? So I'm going to go back to my folder, and I do have this ribbon, which also has no background, and I will make this also available for you to use. So I'm going to use my lasso tool, and I'm just going to make a selection of this gold particle. That's all I want. I'm going to right click and make a copy of that. Now I'm going to turn off the rest, so I only have the one that I just cut out. And I'm going to use my move tool, and I'm going to move this and set that somewhere here. And I'm going to go ahead to rotate. I'm going to turn this back on, and I'm going to make another copy of this one. And I'm going to right click, make a copy, and turn the other one off. With my move tool, I'm going to move that and rotate it the other way. And then I'm going to set that right there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little. Now you have this effect. Now, if you want, you can use this and you can even move it up like that. All right, so this is looking really good. Let me see if anybody has any questions. Hi, my name is, hi, I want the name of the Christmas font you use. So the name of the Christmas font is Alma. So I'm going to type that in the comment section. So the font is, so, and this one you can get on, you can get it on the fonts. So thefont.com, thefont.com, free download, free font download. Okay, so if you go to the font, you should be able to download this for free. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue. Thank you for your question. Now we want to go ahead and match this Christmas color, the goldish color, with the ribbon. So to do that, I'm going to click and double click on my Christmas, bring up my layer style, go under my color overlay, click on my color. Now I want to go ahead and pick a color within my ribbon, and notice that it with the eyedropper, you can just pick the correct color so that everything matches. Now I'm going to go ahead to click OK and OK. So now we see that things are beginning to look very cohesive. All right, so we are going to go on and finish this. Now, I want to go ahead and add a little bit of a drop shadow to my party. So I just clicked on my drop shadow, added a little bit of an effect, and I'm going to go ahead to click OK. So with this set, we want to go ahead and add in a few more information, and then I'm going to show you how to add this nice star text effect. Okay, you're welcome, Curtis. So I'm going to go ahead and type in when the event is going to take place. So I'm going to use the Gothic and keep it very simple. So we are going to go ahead, reduce our font, and we are going to type in 25th. Oh, 25th, not 24th, 25th December. And the time is 9 p.m. Oh, let me make it 7 p.m. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and set that right there. And I'm going to change the style, make it bold, and I'm going to reduce it a little like that. and we are going to set that right there. Now I'm going to make a copy of this. So Command J, I'm making a copy, and I'm going to change this to exclusive celebration. Okay, I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to change the font to the, I'm still going to keep to the Gothic, but I'm going to change my style and make it very thin. And I'm going to go ahead to reduce it a little, set that on the bottom like that. And I'm going to go under my property, open up the spacing, so it's a little bit bigger like that. So we have 25th December, and this is exclusive party. Okay, so with this set, we are going to go ahead and zoom out. Now I'm going to select the 2, hold down Shift, and I'm going to scale it down a little. And we are going to move it and set that in the middle. Hi, if you just joined, you're welcome. We are trying to create an amazing and fun Christmas flyer, okay? So I hope that you are enjoying this. Now, even if you want to add a little bit more punch, you can even double click on this Mary, add back the solid layer, overlook, and maybe even change that to like a reddish color if you want. I mean, I'm not saying you should, you know, but you can do that, you know, to add some color and Christmassy, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to turn that off. Okay, we are trying to do just a gold and white Christmas theme. Okay, so with this set, we want to go ahead and do something unique. So I'm going to click on my golden celebration. I want to make that into a gold color. So I'm going to click on my Christmas, and I'm going to use all the layer style on the gold Christmas to apply it to my exclusive celebration. So I'm going to right click on that layer, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy the layer style, and I'm going to click on my exclusive, right click, and I'm going to paste the same layer style so you get the same effect on it. So it looks like it's goldish, you know. So with that said, we want to go back to the drop shadow, take off just the drop shadow for that one. All right, so with this set, we are going to go ahead and obviously finish it off by giving the location of this event. All right, what is the name of the design that side update, like the ribbon? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the question was. The ribbon. Can you please explain a little bit further, Sam? All right, so we're going to go ahead and make a selection of our exclusive, and I'm going to make a selection of the December, Command J, and we are going to pull that down, and we are going to give them the venue. Okay, so we are going to just type in Thousand Oaks Drive. All right, so I'm going to highlight this, and then I'm going to change that to regular, and we are going to go ahead and reduce it a little and set that right there. And that is it. So I'm making some addresses up. It's a fake address. All right. So with this set, and I'm going to pull that below just like that. Okay. All right. So if you just joined, you're welcome. Please give this video a thumbs up, and we are just rolling. I love this. So with this set, we are going to go ahead and now add the stars and a bit of some circles, but they are all in the goldish color. All right. So if you joined us, this is the final tutorial that we are trying to recreate. All right. So with this set, we want to go ahead and add in the stars. Okay. So to do that, you want to go ahead and click. You want to go ahead and we are going to click anywhere in our layers, all right? And so we're going to click on the Mary. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under my shapes, okay? And then I'm going to click on my polygon. Now, when you click on your polygon, if you draw the polygon, typically Photoshop will have it at 100%. So if I draw my polygon, this is what I get. But I actually want a star, not a polygon. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to go back under my settings. And I want to make sure I go under, it says star ratio, and I'm going to set it to 50%. Now watch what happens. If I draw a star, if I draw, it draws a star. Now we want to fill in the star. So we are going to go under our property and then fill that in with a solid color. Now, if I go ahead and I repeat, notice that it's taking the same information and it's just repeating the same star with the solid in the fill for me. So I have all of these, I can keep adding, but just be careful you don't overdo it, okay? So we have all of this stars everywhere. Now we want to go ahead and also add in some round ornaments. So I'm going to go back to my shape and I'm going to change it to eclipse. Now I'm going to hold down my shift so that I get even circle and not eclipse. And I'm going to just draw these little circles here and there. It doesn't have to be everywhere. So once we have this, I can come out so you can see. So we have these gold effects. We have these shapes. All right. Now, if I want to turn them into a gold effect, we need to apply the same layer style of our Christmas to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on all the shapes and I'm going to group it. So I'll hold down shift, select the top and the bottom shapes, and I'm going to group them by clicking on the group icon on the bottom. Hello, Curtis. It says, what are the code numbers of the yellow color? Okay, so I will show you in a minute, all right? So I'm going to double click on my group and then I'm going to paste the layer style because I already have it selected. So I'm going to click on that and notice what just happened. It just applied it to my gold effect. All right, now, since you asked the question, I'll go ahead and show you how, I'll go ahead and show you the color. Okay, so if you go under your color overlay, I'm going to click on that. And I'm using, if you go under the color option, I'm just using a hue, which is a 36. The S is 84. So it's just a hue, which is a 36, all right? But the color itself is D28B21. So I'm going to show you. So the gold color is a D28B21. All right, and there you go. I hope this is helpful. And I'm going to go ahead to click OK and OK. All right, so that is the effect. Now, if we go back here, we notice that it has a little bit of a shimmer or it's glowing. Our stars are glowing. So we want to go back and add a glow effect to our star. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my gold effect and I'm going to go ahead and we are going to add an outer glow. Okay, now when you click on the outer glow, you want to make sure that you have your outer glow either on screen or multiply. It does a similar effect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead to change it to screen so you can see it. Now we can go ahead and reduce our size and increase the spread, but we don't want it to be too much. So we have this sort of cool effect. Now I'm going to go ahead and decrease the opacity so you can see that the star is glowing, but it's not too much. All right. So if you want to even enhance your bevel, you can go ahead and change that and maybe choose something else so it gives it some depth or some dimension. All right, but I like the way it looks, and I'm going to go ahead to click OK and come out of this. So this is looking fabulous. Let me see if anybody has a question. All right, it says, sorry for disturbing. What is on the right of white color hanging gold? I asked. So are you referring to the ornaments above? What is on the right of white color hanging gold? So those are just gold ornaments, okay? So if you go on Google and you type in gold hanging ornaments, it should show up, all right? And I think I've already demonstrated that for you, all right? So we are going to go ahead and zoom in. Now, this is the final piece, but you know that you can also change this up. We can even go ahead and double click on our background. We can change the background color. You can make it red, you can make it white, but obviously if you do that, then you will have to go ahead and do some changing of your of the things that you brought in the elements. Now, to finish this off, if you want, you can go ahead and add a color lookup. So click on the top layer, go under your adjustment, add a color lookup. To bump up the colors, you can add a 3 strip so that it increases all the colors for you. Now, if that is too much, you can turn it off. I don't like that. So you can turn that off and actually go ahead and create one file. So hold down Shift Option Command E. We make one single file. Now we want to go ahead and we want to go under our filter and choose Camera Raw Filter. Okay, now with this, we want to go ahead and maybe decrease our temperature a little. Now notice that the colors are beginning to really pop. Now you can go ahead and increase your contrast so you get this nice effect. Now we can go all the way down to our vibrance. If we want, we can increase it so it gives it that touch. I'm really liking this. All right, so you can have this touch and then you can increase your saturation if you want, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to set that here. Now you can go ahead and even play with your temperature a little bit more. If you want it to be more bluish, you notice what is happening with the temperature. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead to click OK. Now this is the before, this is what we had. Now this is the after. So you can either go with either the black background or the charcoal, or you can go with a blue. So, I mean, I like both. So even if you want, you can blend the two. And how to blend the two is reduce the opacity of the final image, and it will basically pick up on the two and then give it a nice blend. All right. Or you can also go ahead, increase it a little, add a layer mask. Now pick up your brush tool with your foreground as black. You can go ahead and increase your brush head. You can go ahead and increase your brush head with your flow a little bit lowered. You can paint in some areas. So you have some blues in some areas, and then you have the black in other areas as well. So you have something more like that. So guys, I hope that this was very, very helpful and that you like it. All right, so guys, if you are new to my channel, please give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe. I go live every Saturday, and I know that by the time you watch a few of my tutorials, you will become an expert. Now, if you're new to Photoshop and you want to know more about my channel, I want to go ahead and show you what you can find on my channel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead to show you my my YouTube channel so that you can learn a few things from me on that channel. All right, I'm trying to go over there. And once I get there, I will show you that. All right. So here we are. This is my channel. If you're interested, you need to go under playlist. You will see a whole section of tutorials that I have, some on Christmas tutorials. I have a birthday. So when you click on the birthday, there are tons of flyers, birthday flyers that you can do, or even Christmas flyers. So there are tons of tutorials you can learn. If you missed this tutorial, you need to go and watch it. It's a very good tutorial, okay? So Happy New Year. And I'm going to do another one next week, okay, for the Saturday. So guys, there's a lot that you can learn. If you are new to Photoshop, you can learn these. You can go and watch, my beginner tutorials as well. And I have a whole list that you can go through. All right. So don't feel limited to only the things I'm posting. You can go watch as many as you like. Okay. So this is my YouTube channel, and share this with people. Let them like. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please click on the notification bell as well, so you get notified anytime I go live. All right. So I'm going to look in the comment section, and see if anybody has any question before I log off. No questions. All right, guys. So I hope that this was very helpful. Have a Merry Christmas. Have fun recreating this flyer. And you can also, throw in, if you want some gold-ish design, you can throw in some gold ornaments here and there to, to finish off the design, and just to give it that Christmassy feel. If you feel that the blue doesn't really do justice to what you want. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do that in a minute. So if I want, I can go ahead and drag and drop this in. And I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side like that. And I'm going to go ahead to reduce it and set that right there, and do something like that. And I'm going to go ahead to click OK. Now I'm going to go ahead to turn this layer off, this ribbon. I'll turn that off. Now with this ribbon, I can add a layer mask. I can add a layer mask to it, and I can just use my brush and reduce my brush head. And I can go ahead and paint this, reduce, zoom in. Can zoom in. Oops. I can go ahead and zoom in, and then with my brush, I can go ahead and just brush around this just to blend it in, and then do something like that and like this. And voila, you do have some red in your flyer. So I'm just going to zoom out. And then we have this, if you want some red, this is how you can add some red elements to your flyer. All right. And then maybe throw something over there as well to finish it off. So guys, I hope that this was very, very helpful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you back next week. All right. So please take care of yourselves. You're welcome, Sam. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all back next week.